What if the most famous building in the world was slowly dying? Not crumbling, not cracking, but something far worse, losing the one thing that made it legendary in the first place. This is the story of the Burj Al Arab. And what's happening to it right now? Nobody in Dubai wants you to know. Low pulsing music plays as an aerial drone shot reveals the Arabian Gulf at dusk. For over 2 decades, the Burj Al Arab stood as the ultimate symbol of human ambition. A hotel built on its own artificial island, rising from the Persian Gulf like a golden sail catching fire in the sunset. 7 stars. Gold everywhere. Suites that cost more per night than most people make in a year. The Burj Al Arab wasn't just a hotel. It was a statement. It told the world that Dubai was no longer a fishing village in the desert. It was the future, and the Burj Al Arab was its crown jewel. But here's what they don't show you in the brochures. Behind the marble floors, the Rolls-Royce transfers, and private butlers trained in Swiss academies, something has been quietly unraveling, a decline, not of concrete and steel, but of prestige, relevance, and the very mystique that once made this building untouchable. Tonight, we pull back the golden curtain, because the real story of the Burj Al Arab isn't the one they've been selling you. To understand what's happening now, you have to go back to where it all began. The year was 1994, when Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, made a decision that stunned the engineering world. He wanted a hotel so extraordinary, so impossibly bold, that it would put Dubai on the global map forever. The brief given to architect Tom Wright was simple and terrifying. Build something that would become a global icon, something so recognizable that people would instantly know where they were in the world just by seeing it. What emerged after 4 years of construction was nothing short of miraculous. A 321-meter tower built on a man-made island, connected to the mainland by a private curved bridge. Its structure was shaped like a Bedouin dhow sail, a tribute to Dubai's maritime heritage. When it opened in December 1999, the world went silent, and then it went absolutely wild. The Burj Al Arab didn't just open, it exploded onto the global stage. Travel journalists rushed in, celebrities paid fortunes just to be photographed there, and it was labeled the world's first 7-star hotel, a term that doesn't even officially exist, yet somehow made it even more desirable. For years, the mystique held, prices soared, and waiting lists grew. But mystique, it turns out, has an expiration date, and the clock was already ticking. Today, the Burj Al Arab looks very different when seen through the eyes of actual guests, not promotional videos. On major luxury travel review platforms, comments from the last few years repeatedly use words like dated, tired, and overpriced. One travel journalist, a veteran of 5-star hotels across more than 40 countries, described the experience as eating at a legendary restaurant where the chef retired 15 years ago and nobody told the kitchen. The interiors, last renovated in the mid-2000s, carry the heavy aesthetic of another era. Gold everywhere. But not the kind of gold that whispers luxury, the kind that shouts it loudly, desperately, in a world that has moved on to quieter, more refined expressions of wealth. And here's the part that should genuinely concern you. While the Burj Al Arab stayed frozen in its own legend, the rest of Dubai kept building. And what came next made the Burj Al Arab look small. In 2023, Atlantis The Royal opened on Palm Jumeirah, and the hospitality world was stunned. Infinity pools floating above the clouds, residences designed by world-famous Michelin star chefs, and architecture so futuristic it looked like it came from the year 2075. Then came Bulgari Resort, Bulgari Yacht Club, Six Senses, and one and only one Zayabil. Suddenly, Dubai didn't just have one iconic luxury hotel, it had 20. And the Burj Al Arab, once the undisputed king of Arabian hospitality, was no longer the most expensive, no longer the most photographed, and no longer the most talked about. It became something dangerous for a hotel of its status. It became ordinary. Think about that for a moment. When the Burj Al Arab opened, there was nothing like it on Earth. Now it competes in a city that manufactures global icons almost every year. Dubai didn't just raise the bar. It buried the old one and built a skyscraper on top of it. But physical competition is only half the story, because what happened next was the real collapse. Somewhere in the last decade, the Burj Al Arab lost something no renovation budget can restore. It lost its secret. Its greatest asset was never gold leaf or a helipad tennis court. It was mystery, inaccessibility. The velvet rope that everyone wanted to cross, but very few could. Then came a decision that many luxury hospitality experts now call a fatal mistake. The hotel began selling access. Not just rooms, but access itself. For a minimum spend, guests could enter the Skyview Bar or a Sawan Spa without staying overnight. Weekend brunches became ticketed events promoted heavily on social media. The lobby, once a quiet sanctuary of pure luxury, turned into a tourist attraction filled with photo-taking families, influencers live streaming, and organized tour groups moving through on schedules. And slowly, almost invisibly, the spell broke. Exclusivity is not just about price. It is about perception. It is about believing you are somewhere most people will never reach. The moment a place becomes a backdrop for everyone's Instagram story, it stops being exclusive and starts becoming a theme park with better towels. Luxury insiders call this velvet rope erosion. And for the Burj Al Arab, the erosion has been severe. The hotel that once turned away guests for not dressing properly now welcomes anyone willing to pay for an afternoon tea reservation. Something priceless was traded away, and the guests who matter most to a 7-star hotel, ultra-high net worth individuals, quietly began booking elsewhere. Here is the twist that nobody in Dubai's hospitality industry wants to say out loud. The Burj Al Arab may be a victim of the very city it helped create. When it opened in 1999, it was Dubai's proof of concept. It told the world that this place was serious, and the world listened. Billions poured in, developers arrived, and construction never stopped. Dubai became a global empire of luxury, built on the foundation the Burj Al Arab helped lay. And now that empire has grown so large, it casts a shadow over the very building that started it all. The Burj Al Arab is not collapsing in the way you might expect. The building still stands, the rooms are still booked, and the gold still shines. But the collapse is real. It is a collapse of meaning, the one currency no 7-star hotel can survive without. The Burj Al Arab once meant something impossible, a structure that proved ambition had no limits. But every story has a second chapter, and in chapter 2 you are no longer the underdog, you are the establishment, and the world is coming for you. Dubai moves faster than almost any city on earth. What feels iconic today becomes a relic tomorrow. The Burj Al Arab was built to be timeless, but it was born in a place that worships the new. The real question is not whether it will survive, because structurally and financially it will. The real question is whether it can still make you feel like you have arrived somewhere the rest of the world has not yet discovered. Every empire has a turning point, a moment where it must choose to evolve or become a monument to its past. The Burj Al Arab stands at that crossroads right now, and here is the question to sit with. If Dubai is willing to let even its most iconic landmark fade into the background of its own ambition, what does that say about the nature of greatness itself? If you want to uncover the secrets Dubai's skyline is still hiding, the stories behind the structures, the scandals beneath the shine, then you already know what to do. Subscribe to Dubai Secrets, because the city never stops surprising us, and neither do we.